of Oklahoma Tribal Council regular session will come to order. Let us stand for opening prayer and pledge, please. Chaplain.
Our Father, we just come to you this morning, Lord. We thank you for rest and sleep and traveling grace here today. Father, be with those that are here. And Lord, we just thank you for the sun and the rain that you have given us, Father. We thank you for the many blessings that you bestow upon us each and every day, Father. And may we always, Father, lift you up and thank you and give you all the glory that you deserve, Father, as we get busy each and every day, Father. Let us be mindful, Lord, that you allow us to have the privileges that we do and the responsibilities that are before us each and every day. Accountability, Lord, to you and to our people. Give us the strength, the wisdom, and the guidance, Father, and health, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Roll call.
Thomas Williston.
Here.
Tony Ward.
Here.
Eddie Bohannon.
Here.
Jess Henry.
Here.
Ron Perry.
Here.
Jennifer Woods.
Here.
Joey Tom.
Here.
Perry Thompson.
Here.
James Dry.
Here.
Anthony Dillard.
Here.
Robert Carr.
Here.
James Frazier.
Here.
Approval of minutes, regular session, August 12th, 2023. I hear a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion made and seconded. Questions or comments? Vote.
Speaker Williston.
Yes.
Tony Ward.
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon.
Yes.
Jess Henry.
Yes.
Ron Perry.
Yes.
Jennifer Woods.
Yes.
Joey Tom.
Yes.
Perry Thompson.
Yes.
James Dry.
Yes.
Anthony Dillard.
Yes.
Robert Carr.
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
All right. I'll take a moment to welcome all our guests. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Each month we recognize a veteran that's from each district, and this month we're honored to recognize from District 12, Mr. Wilson Roberts. Mr. Roberts, present?
Yes, he is, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Mr. Roberts, would you approach the podium, please?
Good to see you. Today we're recognizing Mr. Wilson Roberts as our Veteran of the Month, so I'll read the citation. Whereas Wilson Roberts was born in Bennington, Oklahoma, and left for boarding school at the age of 5 years. He left school after the 8th grade. He worked as a general laborer around the Bennington area until he was old enough to join the Army. He took his basic training at Fort Riley, Kansas. He was put into the artillery training area in the White Sands Missile Range at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas, where he taught missile battalion training and trained as a radar operator and in air traffic control. In 1961, he went to Korea for a year, then returned to Garner, Kansas as a radar operator. Mr. Roberts worked in numerous military bases such as Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, and Heidelberg, Germany, operating multi-million-dollar PXs. He was in Germany for about 3.5 years, where he met lots of Native Americans and started a club having powwows in Germany. He still has contacts with many of them, enjoying MWR with other tribes. He was in Turkey on 9/11. Whereas Mr. Roberts returned to Fort Sill in 1992, where he managed the PX there for the last 5 years of his career. He has been married to Sharon for 56 years. They have 3 sons, 14 grandchildren, and 19 great-grandchildren. Whereas the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma holds our veterans in the highest esteem and appreciates the sacrifices and contributions they have to preserve our freedom and the way of life we hold dear. Whereas the Tribal Council of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma takes great pride in honoring Wilson Roberts as Veteran of the Month. Now, therefore, pursuant to the motion of Chief Gary Batten, the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma extends to Wilson Roberts sincere commendations and directs this citation to be presented by Chief Gary Batten, Jack Austin Jr., and Councilman James Frazier. Mr. Robert. And then here is.
Get in this one.
How about that? Would you like to say a few words? Thank you, Pat.
Yes. Just a short word here. I want to thank the people that are involved in getting me this honor. It's my pleasure. I just don't know what to say. It's been many years that I've done many things, been in many places, and of course, one of the places I worked, I've had numerous awards, but coming from the Choctaw Nation here seems to top it all. And I really appreciate all of you people that are here, our tribal council people that are doing a great job. You know, back in the early years, in my early days, we didn't have tribal councils like this. I remember one thing that I was at really early age, or that Chief Melvin had done many things, but I think one of the many things that he did that was outstanding for the Choctaw people was to do away with the money that was coming in. What do you call it? When you passed out the money to the tribe
Per capita.
per cap. Yeah, I'm too good at that. Anyway, you know, he did away with the per cap many years ago. The last per cap, I vaguely remember people getting something like $100 a piece, and in a week's time, it was all gone. Okay, and but then at that time, he had put the money into tribal funds, and the tribal fund grew. Many times, many people, you know, argued about that, and even at this time, when our travel, people, you know, think about and look at our casino. And they really envy the Choctaw people, but they wonder why we don't get per cap. And it's just one of the questions they always ask me. I said, well, it doesn't matter. I said, we get a lot of things without the per cap. We have education, hospitals, and just numerous things. I said, it's well that we did away with that per cap and into the tribal fund, the funds went, and now everything is looking great for the Choctaw people, and that's where we stand. Just a short word here. I want to again thank each and every one of you, and God bless you guys. Thank you.
Also, we recognize the first language speaker of the month. Again, Mr. Roberts, don't go anywhere. He's going to be honored again as our first language speaker of the month for District 12.
It's wasting an extra trip, is it?
We're both getting old, and I didn't want to have him go sit down and come back. All right. Wilson Roberts was born in a cabin in Bennington, Oklahoma. He was one of 5 children raised by his single mother, Annie Tom Roberts, who spoke Choctaw only. At the age of 5, he was taken from his home and sent to Goodland Indian Orphanage, while he was told to forget the Choctaw way of being and the Choctaw language, the only language he knew. As a young boy, being punished for speaking and whispering to others in the Choctaw language, he can recall something he had to learn the hard way. After 8 years, Wilson evidently left Goodland and returned home to his mother, where he learned that he had trouble communicating with her without hesitation. He recalls that many times she would ask him why he was talking Naholo for many years because of his experience in school. His Choctaw language was tucked away, and only more recently he has began to be more comfortable speaking the Choctaw language in public spaces. His mother, Miss Annie Roberts, instilled pride in him to speak Choctaw without having to look around. She maintained her native tongue, although she did pick up a few little Nahudlo talk, things like "get up, it's tomorrow," meaning that it was morning, or "you like this, I like," meaning she liked something. To this day, Wilson still travels throughout the United States and Canada, often having the opportunity to pray in the Choctaw language over the communities they visit. On his travels, he not only shares his native tongue to the stories of his life, culture, and the good old Choctaw humor. He and his wife have 14 grandchildren and 21 great-grandchildren, all of whom they are very close, and to most of whom carry Choctaw names. Wilson Roberts is Chatasihoke. Thank you again, Mr. Roberts.
We can have his family.
Share. Family, yeah, here, have a family. Come on.
You guys stay out here first.
Oh, yeah.
Does somebody want to hold his veteran stuff as well? One big group picture. If you come on up, they're clear. Want to see the wife too. There we go. Oh. Okay.
Like
That's good.
PBS, the language department, certificate of recognition, Wilson Roberts, presented on this 9th day of September in the year 2023. Very bad. Thank you so much.
Let me turn it around. There we go. Thank you, everybody.
Again, just a few words about the language. My mom, she didn't speak English very, very little. As you know, back in those days, our people didn't, grasp the English language. But if you made her angry, she would let you know right away, and you would understand what she was saying. I remember one time this guy came to our house or to our cabin, and he was looking for a cow or something, and I don't know exactly what he said, but I guess he kind of teed off my mom, and she stepped back and she said, "You want some?" "You want to fight?" He's ready. But she was that type of person. She was really caring person. Her family was she was an orphan to begin with, okay, and she was raised by her uncle and aunt, and then moved from one family to another until she was probably about 14 years old. And back in those days, if they didn't have a place to go or didn't have no family to go to, they eventually married them off. And at 14, she was married off to a real older person over in Soper, Oklahoma. And she was only married to him for like maybe 6 months or so, but she was able to get away from him and go back to her sister, her half sister. And that's where she was raised. And again, she spoke the Choctaw language, the old Choctaw language. Our Choctaw language, by the way, has kind of got distorted, in many ways because of the translation, of our language. And a lot of times, when I'm looking at reading about our Choctaw people, I find something very interesting that tells me that we need to look more into these words, okay, what they actually mean. And I don't want to offend anybody, but what was interesting to me, this last one, was that the word naholo. okay? Naholo. We take it as meaning white people, right? But the word Naholo has nothing to do with white or people, anything like that. Back in the early days, okay, early days, when the Europeans came into our country, the Choctaw people, met them. They couldn't figure these people out. They couldn't figure out why they were so white. Were they sick? Did they not have any blood or what? And they couldn't figure things out like that. And then as they lived with them and watched them and talked with things like that, they realized that these people were like they liked to own things. They liked to possess. They were more like greedy type people. Even they were good people, and that's where the word Naholo comes. But actually, Naholo was Nana Iholo. Okay, Nana Iholo. That's what they called it, the greedy people. Okay, but then translation became Naholo. And the things like that, you find throughout it is very interesting to look at. Again, thank you, folks. Thank you.
Well, and with him telling that story, that's why my senior group at Colgate really loves when he and Sharon come by and give us some interesting stories of his past, his travels, and what he's done during his career, his life, he and his family. We're very honored to have them as coming down to the Colgate Center. And on a lighter note, the Colgate seniors had an Indian taco sale there one day. It's a good while back. And I walked by the kitchen and I looked in there, and guess who I seen? Sharon and Wilson in there just frying that fried bread. And he can turn it out too, let me tell you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Roberts, on behalf of Tribal Council, I'd like to thank you for the sacrifices that you made, as well as your family when you were young. No one can imagine they're young, 18, 19-year-old going off to serve this country. And thank you for serving the country, and also for serving the Choctaw Nation and its people. So thank you for that sacrifice. Also, we have council would like to thank you for doing your part in keeping our sacred language alive. So again, thank you very much. Public comments. Heather Machine W. I hear a motion to allow Ms. Machine W. to address council.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Motion made, seconded. Vote.
Speaker Williston,
Abstain.
Tony Ward,
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon,
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry,
Yes.
Jennifer Woods, yes, Joey Tom,
Yes.
Harry Thompson,
Yes.
James Dry,
Yes.
Anthony Dillard,
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Machine W., will you approach the podium, please? Ms. Machine W., you have 3 minutes to address council. Our recording secretary, Patty Hawkins, will advise you when to start. She will advise you when you have 30 seconds left.
You ready?
As ready as I want to be.
Okay, go ahead.
Leton Sahachopoyet Nelly Mission Tubby. I come here today to speak on transparency. Transparency and accountability are essential components to a successful government. In 2015, Jason Moretta was allowed to embezzle more than $7 million from our tribe. He was ordered to pay $545,000 in restitution. Since this incident, what safeguards have we put in place to make sure this doesn't happen again? Prior to COVID, there were reports from various council representatives and business meetings. Since COVID, we hear from one council person who always speaks on the same topic, ARPA. The reality is ARPA funding reports are a moot point, as the leadership have earmarked those funds for various projects and buildings rather than choosing to help tribal citizens during their struggles following the aftermath of COVID. While new buildings are nice, are they more important than tribal citizens? So many times tribal citizens are told that council doesn't have a say, or the committees make the decisions. In 2022, the Tribal Council passed the Legislative Committees Act. Those standing committees were formed and they are comprised of the council representatives. So how is it that council had no say? The committees are the health services, housing, member services, finance, governance, commerce, and human resources committees. To my knowledge, since those committees were formed, there have been no reports given during the tribal council meetings. When are these committee meetings? What are the outcomes of these committees? How does a tribal citizen have a voice in those committee meetings? There was a statement made during the State of the Nation, which was, quote, "If they suffer, so will I. If they prosper, then I'll rejoice," unquote. That statement has resonated with me since hearing it. If they suffer, so will I is a statement that indicates that if tribal citizens are suffering, then so will leadership. Well, many tribal citizens are suffering, but it's leadership. Since the gaming compact, millions and millions of dollars have flowed through the tribe. Where's all the money being spent? The Choctaw Nation donated $250,000 to McAllister Airport. Why? Why did the $250,000 buy us? How does this giving this large amount of money to an airport help the everyday Choctaw? What is the total cost to tribal citizens for the money that is given away throughout the 10.5 counties? You see, if you help all our tribal citizens in the cities, counties, and state benefit from the monies being spent, it is disheartening to watch the tribe give our money away while tribal citizens are struggling. As stewards of our money, it is your responsibility to ensure the money is being spent in the best interest of tribal citizens. The first question to ask yourself is, how would this benefit the everyday Choctaw? Tribal citizens should reap the benefits of our successful businesses in gaming. One thing that is noticeable and concerning is that our money is being spent on all people, not only Choctaws. When that happens, who gets left out? It feels like our tribe is trying to assimilate us and following through with what the federal government started.
30 seconds.
Tribal citizens have a right to know where every dollar is being spent. We have a right to know where all the monies are coming from and what those amounts are, and as well as the failed business ventures. The days of having secret meetings before council meetings and not discussing issues during the council meetings needs to be over. I am challenging each of the tribal council representatives to hold yourselves accountable to the tribal citizens and put the best interests of the tribal citizens first and step up to the plate by drafting, writing, supporting, and presenting legislation for complete transparency within our tribe, including an outside audit of all monies that have flowed through our tribe.
Time.
It is our money and we have a right to know. Yakoki.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Shantobi. Reports of committees. Today we are honored today by our senior executive officers of the Choctaw Nation. These individuals oversee a wide range of our programs that benefit all our Choctaw people, and they're here to give their annual report. I don't know which one is going to be first.
That's good. We're committee reports.
Committee reports. Okay, excuse me.
Okay.
We're going to report committee reports.
Yeah, you got one? I don't. Okay, I'll go up to you. Okay. Yes, Mr. Speaker, I have a report on the committee, the HR committee. We met with Kelly McCon, Nate, and Gary Burris a couple weeks ago. One of the things that I'm proud to present on is that Choctaw Nation, our head count is over 12,000 associates. 5 years ago, we had 7,800 associates. Now we have 12,097 as of the meeting date. Of that, 4,523 are Choctaw. We have 75% of the Hochtown will be full-time associates, is what they're reporting on. Also, I'm sorry. Also, that's loud. Sorry. Also, the market pay. One of the things that was happening is we were losing some associates because of the pay increases throughout southeastern Oklahoma. So we've upped a lot of the wages, which has helped us maintain a lot of our associates. Our turnover, which has saved the tribe around $5 million so far this fiscal year in turnover expenses. One of the things that HR has started is the Achievers Program. What that is it's opportunity for different departments, associates, to give shout outs to someone going above and beyond in the workplace. And the biggest recognition that has come out of that is teamwork. So a lot of our associates feel like the teamwork is very strong. 72% of the associates have taken part in the Voice of the Associates. So it gives them the opportunity to express any concerns or anything that's going on that we as a nation need to do better. But that was great reporting that 72% of them that actually took the survey. Also, on the hiring for the Hochtown, It's going to start, looks like in November the 7th, 2023. There's going to be over 400 jobs available for that area. A lot of, some of the concerns are labor availability. Look for volunteers, from other casinos, I'm sure, once we have the grand opening as well. Associate lodging is a little bit of concern. Turnover is always a concern. And, looking at possibly hiring bonuses and things like that to help get them staffed up. Also, total rewards. One of the things that they started a few months back is weekly pay. So a lot of the associates have an option, especially our part-time associates, to get weekly pay. And that really has helped a lot, especially when you're onboarding new associates. If they have to wait, a month before they get their first check, that puts a strain on a family, especially, when you're starting a new job. But the weekly pay has been a tremendous boost for our associates and helping retain our associates. Also, part of that is they have a savings account if they like to participate. And it also has a budgeting process if you want to look, if you want to budget your money and know where your money is going. And there's a savings account on that. And as of a couple of weeks ago, our associates themselves have saved $324,000, which is very good, for their little rainy day fund or whatever. But another thing that's come out of helping do the weekly pay is there's sometimes things come up, a car breaks down or something comes up and you don't have any money saved. They're going, come to find out, some of them are going to downtown to those payday loan places, when they charge 20 to 30% or whatever. So this has really helped, some associates not have to do that. Another good thing that we're doing is organizational development. The focus on facilitating tribal members' success within preference policy. They have a development track. 121 tribal members have completed that as well. Also, associate development track, there's core courses available for all associates, and it also helps tribal members that take these core courses, especially when they're interviewing or applying for other jobs. If they have these courses that they're taking, it helps them, during the interview process and hopefully secure them a better job. Also, they offer supervisory essentials, which is individual development plans for our associates, and our tribal members, 1,894 have completed those. So it's just another great opportunity for our tribal members to move up within the Choctaw Nation and to get more training as well. Another final point is they've won a few awards through HR, through the Choctaw Nation. Forbes recognized the Choctaw Nation as 2023 America's best large employees, which says a lot for the Choctaw Nation to be recognized by Forbes magazine. So I'd like to congratulate all the staff for that great accomplishment. There's some other awards that I know that they've received as well. That concludes my report, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councilman.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Give a report to the, you hear me over there?
Up to your mouth.
Now can you hear?
There you go.
Okay. Give a report on the American Rescue Plan Act funding that the Choctaw Nation received. We received $1,094,352,141. We started 5 direct member assistance programs with this funds. The Economic Impact Recovery Program for adults and dependents, and the Food Security Program for our elder and disability. This June, we announced the extension of the Food Security Program for the tribal elders that are 55 and over. Currently, there's 99.1% of current participants who have applied for the extended service. So we really are happy with that, the way that people are participating in that. The Disability Food Program, it's at 74.6% of current participants have applied for extended assistance. So if you know anybody on a disability who haven't applied, encourage them to. That application or that program will be open to apply until next May, and it will run through this September until August of 24. We also had a small business assistance program that we used with this direct member assistance, and we have approved assistance for 787 tribal members who are Choctawpreneurs. We have $513.1 million allocated to direct member and small business assistance, and $282.8 million in projects, initiatives related to expansion of services, public health, and vaccination incentives. The remaining funding is either associated with planned projects going through due diligence evaluation or being held in reserve for future response. We do have several projects that we are currently working through procurement for final pricing as required by the ARPA bidding requirements. And when they're completed and we see where we're going to be, we'll announce the programs that we're the projects that we're going to use that money on. Some of the projects that we've used the ARPA funding on was the three biggest were the McAllister Clinic expansion. It was $69.8 million. I'm glad to see that it is under construction in McAllister. It's very much needed. It's going to help our tribal members. But the McAllister Clinic had reached a point where its capacity issues has, in many cases, been forced to repurpose areas not initially intended for patient care, like offices and storage rooms, into treatment spaces in order to meet the general health needs of the surrounding Choctaw communities who are assumed by the ARPA interim final rule to be disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. This facility currently lacks the ability to take on additional patient care created by COVID-19 without displacing other patients or limiting other healthcare services. Permanently strengthening the Choctaw Nation healthcare system and this facility in general will improve the Choctaw Nation's ability to meet the needs of its population by improving access to care, improving health outcomes, and addressing some of the effects of the chronic federal underfunding of the Indian Health Services for facilities expansion. The next one that we have on there, that's one of the bigger ones, was the Tellahena Data Center. It's very important too. The current data room infrastructure in the Tellahena Hospital is insufficient to meet the needs of health services and represents a significant risk of operational continuity. Failures in the current data room have resulted in the hospital diverting patients. The current data room is a high-risk failure point that will continue to degrade, and we've allocated $29.5 million for the Tellahena Data Center. Also, we had the groundbreaking down there, Hugo, earlier this year. The Hugo Government Services Building, we allocated of the ARPA funding $26.7 million. That project will expand the housing support services, agriculture, education, Indian child welfare, and strategic development services at the Hugo campus to better assist tribal members. The Hugo campus serves the southeastern portion of the Choctaw Nation Reservation. That is my report, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councilman Carr. Any further reports to committees?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Give a real quick report on the Finance Committee. On August 28th and 29th, Finance Committee convened and met with all the various budget leads from the senior executive officers to the Judicial Branch for their budget presentation and to go over essentially the presentations that we given today. So just acknowledgement that we met and had those meetings. So
Thank you, Councilman Dillard. Further reports from committees? Okay, we'll hear from the senior executive officers. Assistant Chief Officer will give his report.
Well, Holly Tobin, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to come before everyone. Take this off. Come before everyone and go ahead and present our budgets this morning. I just want to say we have our budget prepared to present to Tribal Council today that consists of our Commerce Division, Health and Service Division, Integrated Service Division, Communication Division, Finance Division, Legal and Compliance Division, Strategy and Analytics Division. And we also have our Judicial Branch here with us today to present their budget as well. For everyone in the audience and listening online, the tribal budget was prepared and given to the Tribal Council on August 1st to allow them time to properly review and inform questions. This leadership team, along with Chief and Council, met August 14th to review the budget, clarify any questions, and also met with divisional leadership the last week of August before Labor Day for final questions. I believe you heard that with Councilman Dillard's report out. I say this to ensure anyone watching, whether here in person or listening online to this meeting, that this isn't the first time Tribal Council has seen this budget. This is a very rigorous process for our budget owners, which I'm very proud of, as well as a leadership team that sit back in the room there behind me, as well as the council for their due diligence, ensuring the sustainability of our tribe. And I would like to say Yakugi to all our tribal council for the time that you put in, as well as our senior leadership. And to Ms. Tubby's points, you have heard transparency from the Tribal Council's committee, and you will hear that same transparency from our leadership regarding the annual budget. And just as our ancestors taught us generosity with the people of Ireland, we continue that same legacy with the communities in our reservations. Now, as far as the financial information, our leadership team will be diving into the details, but just an overall view. Revenue this year, and I'm going to give you round numbers because these are large numbers and I do not want to mispronounce those, but revenue is $2.5 billion, operating expenses $1.5 billion, with a maintenance capital expenditures of $36 million, cost of goods sold $495 million, and a net revenue from operations $412 million, which that is within that bucket. There is approved capital projects for 2024 and also dollars going into the Tribe Sustainability Fund. And with that being said, Mr. Speaker and Tribal Council, the first person I'd like to introduce and have him present on his budget from the Judicial Branch is Mr. David Burridge.
Thank you very much. So the Judicial Branch this last year has thankfully kind of been able to hit stride a little bit. I mean, I think everybody knows from 2020 to today's date, things have changed with us, with the Choctaw Nation, with when McGirt came out and how it's affected us. You know, in 2020, I think we had 405 total case filings. Year to date, this is just today's date, we have 2,077. So our highest year was 2,900. A lot of that was represented by sort of the case dump that the state did, but this 2,077 that's today, those are crimes that occurred in civil cases that occurred after McGirt that we're now prosecuting. And so that's going to continue to go up a little bit, but I don't think we're going to see the crazy spikes that we've seen in our data, which has made it a little bit difficult to track how the Judicial Branch is doing. And also, as you guys know, our financial requests have been going up pretty steady. This year, it's a lot less. Now, this doesn't say anything about the council representatives, but most of our crimes are committed in Pittsburgh, McCurtain County, and Bryan County. You know, our current court is in Bryan County. One thing that we've worked on the court side is making our court more accessible to our people and making it easier for our people to use. And going into the next year, we've done a few things that I believe have helped last year, and then we'll continue to do them to the next year. One, we've got video monitors in the jail, so we can do almost everything remotely without having to transport, which cuts down on cost and is easier. We're doing remote hearings, which makes it, you know, our 10 and a half or 11 counties are big, and so it's hard for them to get across. So we're trying to make it easier on that to use our court. We're going to have electronic filing coming online this year, which is make it a lot easier on attorneys, but then also make it a lot easier on our members as we launch what's called our guide and file, which will allow our members to file things on their own, and it will give them a form so that they make sure they get all the information that they need through to the court. Our budget request, we've been through this a few times. Our total budget request on the executive summary is $4.8 million. And it does represent an increase of around $400,000 on our trailing 12. Our trailing 12 is off a little bit because of a couple of things. We brought on an additional full-time judge, and there were some invoices that were paid after the trailing 12 cutoff. So we tried to stay relatively flat was our goal, and we're going to continue to try to stay relatively flat. If you look at the document, the executive summary that you received, you're going to see they changed all our cost centers and everything. This next year should give us a real good idea when our trailing 12 cuts off. Our next year's budget should be a lot easier for the council to do apples to apples comparison. And so that's going to be our goal, is going into the next year to make our budget and what we're asking for in addition easier to read. Other than that, we're just going to continue to try to help our people, to try to do a better job for our people than the state of Oklahoma does. And I think not just the judicial branch, but every aspect of our wraparound services, as you guys know from our ribbon cutting the other day, it's just continued to get better, and it's just making it hopefully, even though a lot of times these people are in trouble when they come to us, a big part of it is mental health, maybe drug abuse, things like that. And so I just appreciate you guys giving the money necessary to try to help those people get better. We can't help everybody, but it's worth the try. And other than that, I don't have anything else to present from the Judicial Branch unless you have questions for me.
How many cases did you say you guys tried in 2020?
Okay. I said filed.
Filed.
We filed in 2020, 405 was what the stat they gave me.
And then this year, so
far, 2,077. And that represents criminal, that represents civil. And you see, you're going to see a little bit of a variation when the numbers start getting reported to you. Because our traffic counts continue to kind of go down as our cities determine whether they're going to participate with us, if they're going to send us the tickets. And so the traffic count is going to kind of go up and down, but that should level out as we make steps towards making that easier. But your felonies and your things like that are going to probably, unfortunately, stay pretty level.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Dave, for myself, I appreciate the judicial branch as far as, just thinking a few people in my district that have messed up, maybe drugs and alcohol, that instead of, having incarcerated, that because we do have services, we're very blessed to have services. Unlike, a lot with the state, they don't have the services to me that we do, because we truly want to help our people instead of, sometimes they have to be incarcerated, but sometimes they just need rehabilitation through drugs or whatever that may be. And I know that y'all do a good job of doing that to make sure that there are services out there for our tribal members, not just incarceration.
Well, I don't think you were on the council yet, but in 2016, we had a meeting with a lot of you guys were there. And when we were unifying the courts, and the tribal council, that's what the important thing was: take care of our kids and take care of our people and do a better job in the state. And so that's kind of been my marching orders since then, and we've tried to do it. So thanks for the comment. Thank you. bit. I think this is what we all work for, our people. As Mr. Bird stated, our people and our members. You will hear that quite a bit. So,
Thank you, Speaker. And thank you, audience, and thank you, Council, for allowing us to be here. I am Janie Dillard. I am Choctaw. I live in Atoka County. I was born and raised in Boswell, Oklahoma, Choctaw County. Mr. Perry Thompson has been my council member for probably many years. I've been with the tribe since the duration of bingo. I've been with the tribe for 42 years. We started bingo about 38 years ago with high stakes bingo. So to say I know a little bit about the tribe, I think I do. And to say that I feel like our transparencies are better than ever, I do. I feel like we've got better transparencies than we've ever had in our lives. This is one proof of it with us all being here today presenting our budgets. The second year we've ever done this. Second year. We normally have never done this before. So to me, this is something that says immediately transparency of the tribe. So I'd like to give you a little bit of information about the Division of Commerce. That's my responsibility. Division of Commerce is to strengthen financial growth and economic sustainability for this tribe. That is our goal. The Division of Commerce key focuses are gaming and hospitality, retail, agriculture, commercial leasing, and our Choctaw print services. And then we have partnerships that fall under that also. For fiscal year 24, the Division of Commerce is projected to generate $753 million in profits. Those are big numbers. That's nearly a 4.6% increase over FY23. I'm responsible for that. Now that's a law that rides on somebody's shoulder, but you have an excellent team behind you that you look at every day that supports you and guides you and gives you the strength you need to make good, sound, solid decisions for this tribe. That will be utilized by the tribe to expand and deliver services to the Choctaw Nation tribal members. This profit target will be achieved with revenues totaling $1.9 billion and general operating expenditures of $1.2 billion. The Choctaw Nation Division of Commerce currently employs over 6,700 team members, and as Councilman Dry said, we will increase 614 more new team members in FY24, with 400 team members coming from the landing in Ho Chi Town. The key revenue drivers for this coming year will include the continuous strong performance of our Choctaw casinos and resort properties, and the completion of the Durant Casino Resort Grand Tower refresh and food hall. This project with the Grand Tower in Durant, it opened in 2010. So the renovated Grand Tower will bring an additional 330 hotel rooms online to help meet customer demand during high volume periods of the Durant Casino. The food hall will feature regional brands like the Velvet Taco, South Hot Chicken, Nashville style chicken, the Pit Barbecue, and a Italian chicken. The seating for this area will be 125 people. The other areas that will help drive the profits we're supposed to drive for this next year will be the opening of Choctaw Landing in Ho Chi Town. It will open in spring 2024. The new resort property will be open to service the local population as well as tourists who visit Broken Bow Lake. The facility will have high-end rustic design and will include 100 hotel rooms, 600 slot machines, 8 table games, food and beverage venues, including a Starbucks, an outdoor pool with cabanas, a mercantile travel plaza / mercantile with 24 fueling pumps, and an outdoor entertainment venue that will offer Choctaw cultural events on weekends. Whether it be our cultural artists, whether it be our cultural dancing, pottery. We just want to be able to show our culture to the tourists that are coming into that Broken Bow area. Also with that, it will be, as I said, 400 new hires for that area. The expansion of commercial leasing is another area that falls in our umbrella. The commercial leasing department will open 2 new multifamily apartment complexes in early 2024. The Durant campus will feature 216 multifamily units, including both one-bedroom and two-bedroom options. The Broken Bow campus will feature 120 multifamily units, including both one-bedroom and two-bedroom options. The Broken Bow campus will be hopefully up and ready for our opening of the landing in Ho Chi Town, because we hope that will be a draw to be able to bring a lot of new employees to that market. The commercial leasing department has also entered into 2 new agreements with Bales and Shoe Show at Choctaw Village Shopping Center in Idabel, Oklahoma. We continue to build out the Idabel Shopping Center with new renters that are coming into that market and helping to drive revenues more to the Idabel Broken Bow area. Commercial leasing will continue operating 50 leases on 22 properties throughout the reservation. The Ag Department will continue its expansion of the Choctaw branded beef program. I hope some of you all have been able to try the Choctaw branded beef. I'm very proud of that initiative we rolled out this last year. The team will work in conjunction with local partners to grow, process, and provide high quality products that will be served in our casinos, independent restaurants, and sold in our country markets. Choctaw beef will also be supplied to selected school areas in the reservation to help ensure high quality nutritional options. Our Choctaw agricultural operations include over 5,000 cattle spread across 8 ranches, 2 improved pecan orchards, the Choctaw Hunting Lodge, the hunting lease land, and the Choctaw branded beef program. That is the areas that make up the agriculture division. Gaming and hospitality is the leading profit generator for the Division of Commerce. Gaming and hospitality, they operate 23 gaming facilities, ranging from the flagship in Durant, Oklahoma, to casinos located within the Choctaw Travel Plazas. In the total, the gaming and hospitality departments will operate over 13,000 slot machines, more than 150 table games, nearly 2,000 hotel rooms, and over 60 restaurants and bars, 4 casino-style properties located in Durant, Grant, Bacola, and soon-to-be Ho Chi Town, 5 traditional-style casino properties located in Broken Bow, Idabel, McAllister, Bacola, and Stringtown, and the remaining 14 locations are Casino 2 locations in the travel plazas throughout the reservation. Retail operations is the next leading profit generator for the Division of Commerce. The retail departments operate 17 travel centers, 1 mercantile location at Ho Chi Town, opening spring of 24, 3 country markets, and the Choctaw Nation gift shop in Durant Tribal Headquarters. Our Choctaw Print Services provides printing and promotional merchandising needs for both internal and external customers and the Choctaw Nation departments. The recent facility expansion will enable the Choctaw Print to bring in all of their mailing that we do for the Choctaw Nation across the division, the reservation. This will be a very big, large impact to the Choctaw Print Services. Advanced technology initiatives. As we review opportunities of business beyond gaming, the Choctaw Nation is leaning on in innovation. We continue developing under construction next 24 months, a national test site in Daisy, Oklahoma for research and testing of drones, unmanned mobility, and advanced technologies. We are forging industry and business relations to poise the Choctaw Nation as an industry leader and attract business partners for testing and manufacturing to the reservation. If any of you all have been there to Daisy and seen any of the unmanned testing and drones, it is phenomenal. And this is the next wave of technology. And we are a field leader of the pack on that. Partnerships, the Division of Commerce also supports 2 new partnership opportunities. Reva's Place. I know some of you will maybe hopefully have visited Reva's Place. It's a 50-50 partnership with Reva McIntyre in January 23 and employs 120 team members. Approximately 65% of guests are coming from outside of Oklahoma. The regional tourism draw generates significant national media exposure. Since opening, The property has generated 433 mentions from articles and broadcast news. This results in nearly 15 million in added value for the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. It has put the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, if we already weren't on the map, we're definitely on the map, connected with Reba McIntyre. Three Rivers Meat Processing Plant will open in fiscal year 2024, and Eddie is very happy about this because this is in his market. And we are going to be employing 18 new team members in that market, Choctaw and non-Choctaw. But it will be, I think it'll be a market changer for the whole area, the Smithville area and all around that area, Octavia, everywhere. And will improve our food sovereignty. This facility will improve our ability to value chain, capture, processing, and packaging of our Choctaw branded beef program. These are all the areas that will help make up the $753 million that we'll be striving to do for our division in commerce for this next year. And I don't do this alone. I do it with a great group of people. So with that being said, Yakoki, thank you. Speaker, any questions or anything that I might need to ad-lib more on to? I have 5 minutes. I don't know how long I did. Since the chief is trying to limit me, he doesn't want me to. They're always telling me to sit down. They don't like for me to get behind a microphone because usually I just rattle on and But Yakoki, for letting us be here today. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Teresa Jackson. I am October 1, I'll be a 24-year employee here with the Choctaw Nation. I am Choctaw and I reside in Pittsburgh County. I am the SEO over tribal services, which includes all of our tribal services and all of health. So as I go through today's budget, I'll start with our biggest budget, which is health. Our health budget includes the dollars to operate our 8 clinics, the hospital, and the clinic at Tallahassee, our Tallahassee Community Center, the Recovery Center, Chihuly, our Senior Nutrition Program, OEH, Patient Relations, EDH, all of our wellness centers, our Tribal Transit, and our WIC programs. We have a total of 1,821 employees throughout our health system. The entire budget is $317,261,290. So before I start this presentation, I do want to thank everybody in the audience and those that are watching online for providing all of your third-party information that if you have private insurance or if you've signed up through the marketplace, because what that does, it allows us to go forward and bill for those services, and that money goes straight back into our health system. So between the third-party dollars that we receive and the money that we receive through Indian Health Service, our health system is totally self-sufficient. And so we're very proud to be able to say that and to be able to grow and serve our tribal members through the health programs that we have. One thing that I do want to let everyone know that we have been recognized through the Centers of Medicare and Medicaid, our hospital, as a 5-star hospital, which is the highest rating that you could get from Centers of Medicare and Medicaid. We've also been recognized through Joint Commission as Centers of Excellence through our Diabetic Wellness Center and through our Women's Health Breast Center. So we're very proud of those distinctions that we've received, and we try really hard to take care of our tribal members in all areas, and especially in these areas. As we move forward in preparing the budget, we pull a lot of data. We have all kinds of data through the health system. So we go back and look at our visit information, we look at our backlogs and our appointment schedulings, and that's where we try to determine where we need staffing in each of these areas. So this year we're going to be adding staffing based on this information. We're going to be adding staffing to our residency program. We're going to be adding additional 3 more paramedics and 2 EMTs. We are bringing on a certified podorthist. We're adding a new radiology tech to Idabel, a family physician assistant to McAllister. We're adding a dental hygienist to Poto and a dental sterilization tech to Durant. We're bringing on a neurologist full-time that will be in Durant. We're adding fitness counselors to Broken Bow and to our Colgate Wellness Centers. Our tribal transit program was originally funded through a grant through the Department of Transportation, and that grant has ended. So we're bringing on those staff that were originally grant funded, we're bringing them into the health system budget so we can continue those services and be able to provide transportation to our tribal members moving forward, coming into our clinics. We've gone in and added cost because of inflationary issues. We've gone in and added cost dollars to cover the cost in lab, in pharmacy, optometry, to our medical supplies. And we're doing all of this to continue to maintain the same level of care that we're currently providing. Part of our strategic initiative was our hepatitis C program, and we're going to continue to fund that program. And so far, year to date, we have prolonged the lives of 96 tribal members by putting that program into place. Because of COVID, we were able to go in and use some of our dollars and add new equipment to all of our labs to do all of our testing during COVID. And so we've got this equipment, and now we're being able to use it in other areas to expand for services for labs that we've had to send out somewhere else to get read because we could not read those here. We're able to do that now, and we're covering the cost to be able to cover those programs, and that is in the lab areas at Tallahena, Durant, Idabel, Poto, McAllister, and Atoka. And this information, by having this service, we're able to get the lab results back quicker to our providers to be able to help our patients in a quicker time frame instead of them having to wait several days to get their lab results back. In the past year, we added services of dental and radiology to Stigler, and we're going to continue adding the funding for that for the full year for this next year. Since the pandemic has ended, we're having to bring back services that we couldn't do during that time. So we're having to go back in and add those dollars to support those. And that's like in the areas of our sleep lab, behavioral health, and our Tallahena Youth Center. We can continue to add dollars to fund our medical alert program that we started last year and our dental crown program. A new thing that we're starting up is this coming year, Senior Nutrition will be serving lunches right here in this building in Tuskahoma on Wednesdays. So that will be something new that we have getting ready to start. The other thing is we're starting a pilot program in Durant, and we're using our Durant Wellness Center as part of our medical immersion plan. So if our providers want to send a patient and have a prescription to say you need to go to the wellness center and work out and have a certain plan, then our wellness centers will be able to provide that information back to the clinic to be able to put into the medical chart. So we're excited about that. A couple of things that we're looking at is with our ARPA funding, we go in and look at the areas that we're going to be needing services in. So we will be adding a new wellness center at Wright City that should be completed. We're adding walking tracks and a park will be updated there at Broken Bow. Because of the Ho Chi Town area expansion and our Ho Chi Town landing that we'll be adding on, we'll be having growth in that Broken Bow area. So we're expanding the Broken Bow Clinic. We're going to be adding radiology, pharmacy, and employee health. So we're starting that construction project. As Councilman Carr mentioned, the McAllister Clinic will be almost doubling in size. We'll be adding to family practice, pediatric clinic. We'll be providing CT services, a same-day clinic, specialty care, and employee health for that area. We are remodeling the dietary at the hospital. We have purchased the Alco building at Tallahena, and we'll be remodeling that to add medical services there. And we'll be adding a wellness center at Tallahena. We are expanding clinic space at our diabetic wellness center, and we're adding on to the wellness centers at Idabel and McAllister. Because of the growth that we're having to go in and hire additional staff at Tallahena. So we'll be adding provider housing in that area, and that is just used as a recruitment tool to get our providers into that area. And the big thing that we're looking at doing is getting started is the replacement of our electronic health record. And that is not only at Tallahena, but that is throughout our health system. Indian Health Service is looking at going forward and moving that, and several of the tribes are moving forward with that project. So it will be replacing everything, paper, the old electronic health system, to a more advanced health electronic health system for our patients. And each year we go back and we look at areas that we need to improve at and what we're going to be focusing on. This next year, we're going to continue to improve our scheduling for tribal transit. That's one of our continuous improvement projects that we've started, and we're trying to get more efficient in scheduling those transportation appointments. We'll be looking at replacing some of those buses that have high mileage on them. We're going to be standardizing our clinic scheduling in all of our clinics to get patients' appointments quicker and to reduce our backlog. A major focus that we've had this year and another continuous improvement project is through our dental program. And we've brought that in and we've stepped back and looked at all of our dental services that we have through our hospital and through all of our clinics. And we're working on scheduling and utilization of dental services that we provide. A tribal-wide focus that will be coming up is our behavioral health services, not only in health, but all of the services that we provide. So we'll be looking forward and seeing the outcome of that. And I just want to give you just a few shout outs within the health system that we've had over this past year, because we like to celebrate our wins in addition to not only talking about where we want to focus on, but one of our tribal transit drivers, Wyatt James, received second in the state of Oklahoma for his driving and safety skills through our tribal transit program. In the past, just this past quarter, our tribal transit provided 6,400 trips of medical appointments for our tribal members to go to their appointments. We've continued to reduce the backlog for our mammograms down to from 4 weeks down to 2 weeks. And we've opened up our expansion in our residency program. Our surgeon, Dr. Chisholm Price, was awarded with a National Indian Health Board Impact Award. And 3 out of our 5 residents that will graduate in 2024 have already committed to working for Choctaw Nation. So we're very proud of that. In the past few weeks, we received a word that 4 of our staff will receive national awards, and that's through IHS, through our national director, and they will be traveling to Washington, D.C. Those awards are focused on their leadership skills, being innovative, customer service, and so we're very excited for those 4 individuals. As far as member services, our budget there, that includes our education programs, our special services, our outreach services, housing, cultural services, and that's a total of 1,353 employees for a budget of $108,410,000. Our huge win in this area is for our child care services. And we're very excited about that because through the Department of Health and Human Services, through their quality rating, all of our child care services have been recognized as being 5-star centers. So that's something that is not a recognition that is given to every child care center. So we're very proud that all of our centers have been recognized as that. So our goal through member services this year is to continue to look at what we've provided in the past year, continue to provide all of those services to our tribal members in a more efficient and quicker way. So just to give you an idea of kind of what we've provided to our tribal members over the past year, we've provided over 34,200 awards to our students through our student school and activity program. We've assisted over 8,000 students through higher education. We've provided 680 tribal members with vouchers for home rehab services. We've provided over 1,000 vouchers for storm shelters for our tribal members. We have assisted over 27,000 tribal members in emergency services. And we had over 1,300 students attend our summer camps. We continue to provide our cultural services in all of our local schools. And this past summer, through our Posse, our summer school program, we had over 4,800 students enrolled in that. So we're very excited for that. And that's our pre-K through 4th grade. And so our budget that we submitted this year will not only cover for all of those expenses for the next year, but try to make sure that we're getting those done in a more efficient manner. Our construction projects, we have a lot of construction projects also going on in the member services. One is in Hugo, and we've talked about this one, is our government services building. So bringing all of those individuals to one building where they could get services and not have to go to various buildings in town in Hugo to get their services. We're adding the new community center at Wilburton. The Veterans Center here, we're adding on, the Veterans Cemetery here, we're doing a pavilion there. We're expanding our child care centers at Idabel. We're adding a new child care center at McAllister. We are looking at the former old community center at Atoka, and we're updating that to put in tribal services there in Atoka. We're enhancing our stickball fields at the cultural center in Durant. Once we get everything taken care of in Tallahassee with the Alco building and moving people out of the community clinic there, we will be changing that over to a tribal services building where people can go right next to the community center and get their tribal services applications. We're looking at transitional housing throughout our reservation area. And of course, we're going to continue to build our ARH, IE, and LEAP homes, which will be tribally funded. Areas that we're looking at, and one of Chief's and the council's main focuses is preserving our culture and keeping our language alive. So we are going to be adding 15 new apprentices to our Choctaw language program. And those individuals will be doing nothing but learning our Choctaw language and being immersed in that. And our goal is to have those individuals go out into the community, to go out into the schools and teach our languages and preserve our Choctaw language. We're looking at adding additional applications onto Chata-Chafa, and we're looking at streamlining and reducing some of our applications to eliminate the redundancy. We have lots of wins, but some of these to highlight in our services programs is Ginger Crawford, and she was appointed to our National Workforce Advisory Council. She was 1 out of 14 nationwide that was appointed to this. Our Posse program was selected 1 of 6 finalists in our National Summer Learning National Award. Shane Haddock was selected on our National JOM committee. Just one thing, our higher ed applications for the fall, they opened up on August the 1st, and they opened up at 7:45 in the morning. By August the 3rd, we had a record high of 1,293 applications that were submitted through the portal in less than 36 hours. So we're very excited to show that we've been able to get that many applications in that short of a time frame to be able to assist those students in going to college. Our Choctaw language is now taught in 43 classes, 43 schools. And our home loan, we got approval to be able to go into additional counties into Arkansas and Texas for tribal members living in those areas to be able to secure home loans. And Mr. Speaker, that is all I have for tribal services, unless there's any questions.
You certainly have a lot under your umbrella.
Thank you.
Teresa,
Yes, sir.
I do have one question. On the revenue for health, could you share with us, if you have the numbers, what IHS funds us? It's $400 million.
IHS funds us $147 million a year. The rest of the money comes through our third-party collections that we've received.
Thank you.
Teresa, some time ago, I think maybe 6 years ago, maybe 7, we requested an amount that a clinic visit, what that dollar amount amounted to for each individual that went through. And back then, I think it was about $980 per person that went through. And I'm sure it's more than that today. So, all our clinics and our hospitals, we as a tribe are truly blessed, and our people are truly blessed to be able to go and be seen by a doctor and get their prescriptions and such at no cost to them. So that's, in itself, that is a blessing for all our people. So, thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Speaker, if I can, I want to elaborate on that a little bit. That was the amount you're talking about was the amount just to walk in the door. That wasn't to see that wasn't after examination or after prescriptions. That was the amount to walk in the door.
Right. That's all I have. Thank you so much. Next is Mr. Kelly Bacon. He's the Senior Executive Officer over Integrated Services.
Halito, and good morning. As Tracy said, I'm Kelly McCon. I'm the Integrated Services Senior Executive Officer. Integrated Services is really known by different names. Support Services is really what we do, because all of mine, they just support the other divisions. Under our Integrated Services, we have Human Resources, IT, Information Technology, Procurement, and tribal property operations. The total budget for those 4 programs is $196 million. We have a total head count of 1,698. I'll go ahead and try to break those down to you and tell you what each one does. And since we're mostly support, I'll try to talk about the things that actually tribal members, it'll support you as well as employees. Human resources, of course, it really takes care of our most valuable assets, which is our employees. We're responsible for ensuring our employees have everything they need to perform their day-to-day tasks, and they're responsible for creating a healthy work environment that will attract and retain qualified people. To do that, it's broken down, our HR is broken down into different departments to include employee relations, learning and development, organizational development, employee benefits, human resources, management, and recruiting. Under recruiting, I would like to say that this year to date, we've actually hired 7,234 people. Due to turnover, that's why we have to hire that many people. One of the programs under that is Job for the Day. I wanted to mention because it's for tribal members and it's there to support tribal members. It was actually created in our services department. I don't remember what year. I was the one that started that when I worked in services. But what it does, it was created to, the chief said he wanted to start giving a hand up instead of a handout. So what we did is we created that to allow a tribal member to get a job, and it was temporary. It started out with 6 weeks. It went up to 8 weeks. And what it does, it wasn't meant to put you on full time. So what happened was all of the counselors that worked for Job for the Day, they started taking pride in saying, hey, this tribal member, let's find them a place to work full time. That way they won't have to get on emergency services. So what's happened since then, we moved it over to the recruiting department because not only does it serve as a benefit, so to speak, it also is a way for people to onboard and get on. That way they can come in there and say, oh, this is a good employee. I want to keep them on full time. So it's a great benefit. And if you don't know about it, you can call the Choctaw Nation HR department. They can talk to you about it. Councilman Drive, I don't even know if I was speaking on HR. He spoke a lot better on it than I could. One of the things he talked about was the awards. I wanted to mention the awards because we got 4 national awards this year. Human Resources Director of the U.S. gave us 2. It was the Innovative HR Team and the Best Place to Work. The other one was Forbes, America's Best Large Employer. And the last one was the Gallagher Best in Class. I want to say the Gallagher Best in Class was it's a national award that is pretty hard to get. We were the very first Native American tribe to get that award. They actually flew down and presented that to our assistant chief. There was another tribe in Oklahoma that was trying to get it. It was the Cherokee Nation, and we won out because I believe our HR department is head and shoulders above theirs. The second department under integrated services I'll talk about is IT, information technology. Their total budget is $92 million. They have a total headcount of 595 people. And of course, I think everyone knows what IT is. They ensure that the organization systems, networks, data, and applications, they all connect and function properly. And not only do we have to do that, we have to deploy it and maintain them. That includes all of our servers and networks and the storage for our data. We also monitor all those same systems. We also oversee the security and governance of application services and our infrastructure. As part of our digital transformation, one of the things, like I said, I was going to talk about what benefits our tribal members. One of the program or one of the applications we started was the Chata Chuffle. We started a couple of years ago. We've made that a focus because of digital transformation and the ease for our tribal members to actually apply for programs. I want to point out that this year we've released 28 new programs and program enhancements to the platform. We're going to target 77 by the end of the calendar year 2024. That will add one of the things that we've been trying to do also was to put housing on that, and we're finally going to have where you'll be able to go instead of filling out several applications, you'll be able to go that Chautauqua for housing also. One of the big points in IT that's hitting everyone right now is cybersecurity. I won't belabor it, but I know that there was an incident before our Labor Day where somebody spoofed our Facebook, and we had several tribal members go on there, and they're like, we have to put in our information. So they got their their identity stolen and lost some money on that. So I just want to tell members to be very vigilant. If you ever have any questions, not only just for Choctaw Nation, our IT would be more than happy to help you figure other issues out so you won't get yourself in trouble. The other department we have is procurement. That department has $11 million budget, 136 staff. Of course, our procurement department serves as supply chain management. The needs for our Choctaw Nation services offered for the integrated service platform include direct and consulting service to all entities of the Choctaw Nation. Some of the programs underneath the procurement department are purchasing activity, project administration, procurement services, vendor relations, vendor data management, fleet management and operations, shipping, receiving, and warehouse management. One of the things I wanted to mention about our procurement department this year, all of our employees and everything utilizing and going through the procurement process is actually saved the Choctaw Nation $10.8 million by procuring it and getting a lower cost. The last department that I have that falls under integrated services is our tribal property operations. Within that falls construction, facilities maintenance, GIS, and real property. The total budget for tribal property operations is $55 million. We have a total head count of 543 staff. Some of the things that fall under that is construction. Right now, our construction team manages 26 active projects in various stages of construction, totaling over $578 million. This includes they started from the very beginning, sending out the RFP, the request for information, and proposals to. That's how we get the cost savings because they competitively bid. We award the contracts and then we oversee the projects. There are another 27 projects in planning that will total over $200 million that has been assigned to the construction teams. The next one is the Utility Authority. The Utility Authority oversees electric, gas, water, wastewater, and all Choctaw Nation properties, including the billing process. Our GIS currently supports 3 Power BI dashboards, 4 portal dashboards, 8 department-specific sites, 226 applications on the portal, and provides services to 51 departments and teams across the tribe. Our facilities to show you how big we are, we maintain 292 buildings, 733 yards for housing, 40 yards for hospital, 7 million square feet of landscaping, 1,301 turf acres maintained, and 964 acres that we brush hog. That's really integrated service in a nutshell. Barring any questions, that's all I have. I'll be followed by John Hobbs.
Halito, and good morning. As he said, my name is John Hobbs. I'm the Senior Executive Officer over Communications. Under Communications, we have basically broken down into 4 areas. We have the marketing department. This is the people that handle the advertisements, the billboards, the advertisements you see on TV and the newspapers, that type of stuff. They also house our film crew and our photographers. So the different videos you see for the Together More, the different ones that you see for like the State of the Nation, they help put all that together. Second, we have the PR department. They're the ones that handle the media, handle everything you see, the different articles in the newspapers that Chief puts out. Very important because, as you know, we have a governor that we don't always see eye to eye with. So we want to make for sure that we're telling our story as well, and not everyone's not just hearing what he has to say. Along with that, we also have the tribal event staff. They're the ones that's responsible for putting on the different ribbon cuttings, the events like Easter, Labor Day. Hopefully you had a chance to come and visit us here at Tuscola for Labor Day. So they have a big responsibility putting on those events. And then also we have our government relations department. Sometimes people wonder why, we're involved in the government relations side, but it's important that we always have someone keeping an eye on what's going on up there because they run different bills, and a lot of times, as you know, they will bury different things inside the bill. So we got to have people constantly keeping an eye on those bills to make for sure that it's nothing that's going to hurt our tribes, hurt our businesses, and do anything to hurt our tribal members. So also along with that, of course, we have Texas and Arkansas and the different areas that are constantly looking at gaming. So we've got people involved in that to try to figure out what's going on, what the threats are there, what we need to do to get involved more in that. Those departments combined, we have a $30 million budget. We struggled really hard to try to keep that at a flat rate this year. Ended up just a couple $1,000s over. So the team did really well there. We've had some growth the last year. If you were here last year, we talked about some of the growth we did in the department, which was to give us the capability to handle more projects, more things in-house as a savings to the Choctaw Nation, but also to be able to tell our story more, tell where we came from, where we're going, the different things that we do for the communities and the different ways that we do that. We currently have 160 employees. We are adding 4 employees this year. One of them is a marketing manager's position that to fill a gap that we had there. 2 of them are social media coordinators. As you know, over the years, we've really changed how we tell our story and how we get media out there. And it's kind of gone from the newspapers and the TV to more social media. So there's more and more opportunities there through social media, especially because there's so many different ones from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everything that's out there. So we have to have people that are constantly working with those to get those message out there for the different age variations as well. And then the last person that we're going to hire this year is to handle our art. It's going to be the art manager. Within the Choctaw Nation, we have a lot of art in all of our facilities, as you see on the walls. And so because of that, we have so much art, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So we need someone to manage that, keep track of it, know where it's at, to help different places that are coming online, such as Ho Chi Town, help them get art for the facilities, help them get art for the rooms and that type of stuff. And we just want to make for sure that we're able to keep track of that and utilize that in the best way we can. Some of the larger projects that we're working on in the department this year, of course, is the Choctaw Landing. As you heard Janie say, it's coming online. So we're working on not only helping to get art in there, as we talked about, but also get the message out about it, the marketing on it, to let people know, what's there, what they want to come see. The Cultural Center, of course, is always a big effort to try and pull people from the Texas market as well to come up so that they can learn our story and see what we have to offer there as well. Oklahoma legislation, as I talked about, gaming legislation as well. And a couple of the projects just to tell you about that we're doing that, try to help us push the tribal member was the Together We're More campaign. That's an ongoing thing every year. So we're continuing to work on that. We're continuing to take it to the next level. And then, of course, our calendar this year, we've worked with our council members to identify tribal members in the area. And so the calendar this year, you're going to have the pictures of the tribal member and their story of what they're doing for the community, what they're doing for the tribal members. So small department, so I'm going to keep it relatively short because I've got a few more coming after me. Do I have any questions?
When will calendars be out?
I think they usually send those out around October, November timeframe. Any other questions? All right, I'll be followed by Martin Tucker, our CFO.
Good morning. My name is Martin Tucker. I'm the Chief Financial Officer of the Choctaw Nation, and I serve with and am responsible for the finance division within the Choctaw Nation. I want to appreciate John Hobbs, following the 5-minute rule, I'm going to even improve on that. The finance division is relatively simple, relatively straightforward. I have about 300 accountants and finance people that work with me in support of the Choctaw Nation. The part of the strategy that we focus on is strengthening our financial growth and economic sustainability. And toward that end, one of the teams that I work with is the Treasury team, and I serve on the investment committee for the Choctaw Nation. So we manage that investment portfolio on behalf of the Choctaw Nation in order to improve that economic sustainability for the tribe. One of the other teams is the accounting team. The accounting team is the biggest portion of the finance division. Within that are the general fund accountants, or government accountants, if you will, the commerce accountants that support all of Jamie's folks. That is a robust team because we have revenue audit people and accountants in all the locations where we do gaming. They're responsible to make sure that things are done appropriately. We have a health accounting team that supports what Teresa does and all the facilities and all the activities that the health division carries out. We have a housing finance team. We have a construction, very small construction accounting team as well, and a fixed asset team. In addition to that, we have internal services, which manages payroll for all the Choctaw Nation and all those operations. We have a payables team, a receivables team. We have a budget team that puts this budget together that we're here this morning to talk about and to review. In addition to that, we have what we call now a federal awards team, formerly known as the grants team, but we think about and talk about all the work that they do with the BIA and with IHS to help bring in those federal awards and then account for those federal awards. And so that is a growing team, especially after CARES and especially after ARPA. And we also are very involved in those activities on a daily basis. In addition, we have the audit team as a substantial part of what our team has to put together, all the things that we do build into a financial audit. That's one of the biggest portions of the operating expenses within the finance division is to pay for those audits. With all the growth, with all the investments, the partnerships that we form, that becomes more and more complicated. And so that is an important team as well. Very small team, but very important. Finally, we have expense management, travel, financial reporting. I say all this to say that it's a small team, but we cover every aspect of what the Choctaw Nation does operationally and also in support of the strategy going forward. I say all that to say that our budget's a little over $32 million. It's increased about $700,000 over last year's budget. Almost 94% of that budget is to go for salary and fringe because it is a personnel intensive operation. The rest of it is to pay for outside services and a small amount for supplies. Finally, I want to say that I've been recently selected to serve on a Treasury Tribal Advisory Committee, and I look forward to doing that work to represent all of Indian country with the United States Treasury and the policies that they make that affect us directly. After that, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Martin, can you kind of just talk about just real quick? I mean, I know we have an internal audit department, but then we also hire outside audit firms. How many firms do we have that we come in and audit the Choctaw Nation?
The nation proper is only audited by one firm. It was formerly known as Forbes. They merged with another accounting firm. They're formerly known as BKD. Now they're Forbes. It's one of the top 5 largest accounting firms and consulting firms in the nation. A very high quality team. They're coast to coast, and we believe we're leaning towards having them also do the audit for our captive insurance company because they have a strong experienced team in that area. The Global has a different accounting firm. So the housing team is also done by Forbes. It is a very high quality accounting firm. We have a good relationship with them.
Thank you.
About how many different audits do they perform for the tribe? Different divisions or different? Is it just one overall audit?
No. It would be nice if it were just one, right? So the housing has several audits on their own. Also, the nation as a whole has a financial statement audit, if you will. They also do very specific gaming audits to make sure that we're in compliance with all the gaming rules and housing, health, all that gets audited separately. And there's probably, I would say, 15 different reports that are done each year to audit the activities of the Choctaw Nation.
Thank you.
If there aren't any questions, I'll be followed by the legal and compliance team. Darren Sharp's going to represent in place of our SEO.
Thank you, Martin. Appreciate that. As Martin said, Darren Sharp, Executive Director of Risk Management. And on behalf of our Senior Executive Officer, Brian Danker, he was not able to be here today due to his father being ill. So if you would, please keep him and his family in your prayers. Council, Speaker, tribal members, thank you for allowing me to be here. I appreciate it. Legal and compliance consists of multiple departments. We have government legal, commerce legal, the public defender's office, tribal prosecution, as well as our environmental teams, which consist of our wildlife conservation department, our compliance, our water management, and recycling. Also our safety. We have associate safety, food safety, and workers' compensation, and commerce compliance, Bank Secrecy Act, and American money laundering. We're going to talk a little bit about that in here in just a minute, along with our internal audit team. So not only do we have outside auditors coming in, we have our own internal audit team, and we'll speak to that in just a minute as well as our insurance department. We have well over $3 billion in assets, and you can imagine the amount of planning it takes to make sure that we have all of those items on our list to ensure that they're insured. So that is a full-time job within itself. To talk a little bit about our team, first, our safety team. We train over 12,000 associates to be safe in the workplace. We are the first tribe within the United States to receive from the National Safety Council the Occupational Excellence Achievement Award for safety. We have over 20 million hours of work, and our injury rate is 0.65 compared to the industry standard of 2.95, well below industry standard, which saves the nation over $11 million that we're not spending on medical costs or lost leave on our associates. Outstanding job on that safety team and leadership, giving us the support that we need to make sure our employees are safe. We also, the Choctaw Nation has the first National Children's Alliance accredited tribal multidisciplinary team in the state, and only the 5th in the nation. By meeting these accreditation awards, we are ensuring that our multidisciplinary team is following best practices to ensure the best possible outcomes for the families we serve. I'll talk a little bit more about what that means here in just a second. We also established the state's first tribal family justice center. The center opened August 2023 and provides forensic interviews, sexual assaults and child abuse, medical exams, advocacy, therapy, referrals to services, and support for child abuse victims and adult victim crimes as well. And we're able to do that in a very secure, confidential facility at one location. So they're not having to go to multiple areas. We have formed a captive insurance, which that captive insurance has helped us this year in premium dollars of $2.1 million that we did not have to pay out in premium cost. Also, we formed the first wildlife conservation department, and we completed our first successful hunting season, and I believe it went off very well. From what I understand, everyone was happy with the outcome of that first initial hunting season, and we have hunting season coming up, so we'll be ready to do that again. Our budget is pretty much flat. However, we are hiring a few new positions. We are hiring 2 new positions for what we consider manager of compliance for the privacy and security, which basically it's cyber IT. And these 2 individuals will be helping ensure
that our systems continue to stay safe. We get hit, as Kelly could tell you, thousands of times a day where people are trying to attack our system. We also are hiring 2 new tribal prosecutors, and they will be part of the victims specialist group. Right now, we have 2 that are handling over 946 cases, 2 people. And so we've added 2 to that. We thank you for that. That's going to help that need. Commerce compliance. We handle over 53,000 currency transaction reports. We have to complete 2,200 investigations out of that 53,000 that's reported to our team. So 2,200 investigations on an annual basis, which was a 70% increase from last year. Therefore, we appreciate the 2 additional associates that you guys have allowed us to have to help make sure that we continue to meet the IRS guidelines on these compliance requirements. I'm going to try to make sure that I catch everything that Brian wanted me to catch, so I apologize. And our water department, we've just, we basically collaborated with the state, and we had some matching funds. So we have around $16 million that we are going to be going to several areas. One is Durant for their water holding tank, Spiro Community Center, Clayton Country Market, Durant Travel Plaza West, the Grant Resort Travel Plaza, and McAllister Lift Station, and a new line that we're looking at into Durant. From litigation, we have recouped or recovered over $46 million. Part of that was the Highland pipeline recovery, and $41 million on the opioid recovery for the Choctaw Nation. And I believe I have covered everything that he's asked me to cover. So, any questions? All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I have one last thing, Tammy. I'm sorry. It's just to say, we have over 200 associates within legal and compliance, and 70% of them are tribal preferred. And what that means is they're either Choctaw or they're CDIB or they have Choctaw children. Legal and compliance, over 70% Choctaw preferred. And I also want to say that we have 60 of them have their associate's degree, 103 have their bachelor's degree, 45 have their master's, and we have 4 doctorates. So we have a very well educated group of Choctaw or CDIB working in legal and compliance. And I just want you guys to know that, because I find that is amazing to me, and I like it.
Alito and Yakukita Tribal Council and tribal members for letting us speak today. I am Tammy Gwynn, and I am from Wilburton, Oklahoma. Now a resident of Durant, Oklahoma, and I have worked for our tribe for the last 33 years. 25 years is my background in gaming and hospitality, and I'm very blessed to now lead strategic development. Our mission is to continue growing our tribal businesses and our economies within our reservation. And we also support our tribe with reporting and analytics, driving data-driven decisions. We help achieve the vision of our tribe, and this has been done through the implementation of our very first 5-year strategic plan. I'm going to talk about the departments that makes up strategic development, with the first one being the Office of Strategy and Continuous Improvement. Our Office of Strategy aligns our tribe's strategic initiatives and financial resources, and it supports our goals across all of our divisions of our tribe. This is our 3rd year of our 5-year strategic plan. with our 5 strategies being strengthen our financial growth and economic sustainability, improve the quality of life for our tribal members, protect and promote Choctaw culture and exercise sovereignty, become the employer of choice, and achieve digital data and communication transformation. Our Office of our Strategy has been invaluable this last year as we look to continue continuous improvement programs with all of our divisions to achieve operational efficiencies. Our next department is business and tribal development. All businesses and companies wanting to do business with our tribe works with our business and our tribal development department. We support all of our divisions with development of business cases that include forecasted financial models, outcomes that we review with our tribal leadership, giving them comprehensive information that gives them the data they need to approve funding of growth or operational capital. These funds are used to grow or expand our current operating businesses or our tribal services or health programs. This last year in FY23, we modeled and prepared business cases for over $310 million in projects that was taken to our tribal council or tribal leadership for approval. We currently have over $240 million that we are in planning stages. Our reporting and analytics department, our departments include reporting analytics for commerce, health, tribal services, marketing, as well as business intelligence. We provide reporting analytics across all of our divisions to assist the tribe with data-driven decisions. This has included over 200 dashboards with KPIs that we have developed over the last 2 years that has operating metrics that are given to all of our leadership that's sitting here today. The department facilitates financial reviews. We evaluate the viability of our expanded services. We conduct outcome reviews, and we participate in the short and long-term goal forecasting and planning. In FY23, our first overall Choctaw Nation tribal dashboard that is used by tribal leadership was deployed with KPIs, outcomes, and financial metrics. The dashboard consolidates many of our previously developed dashboards into one location for ease of use. Labor analytics was deployed in FY23, and we continued our efforts by saving over $2.8 million in operational efficiencies with development of commerce staffing to demand models. Our RNA leadership, as well as myself, work on the COVID committee as a cross-functional department committee, reviewing, recommending, and approving the allocation of over $1.7 billion in COVID relief funding through ARPA and subawards. The team also is responsible for coordinating the reporting to all of our departments, Choctaw Nation, tribal leaderships, and to federal agencies. Currently in FY21 and FY22, the CARES and ARPA funding received no findings on our audits that our CFO referred to. Operational excellence is our department that supports all of our divisions with guest experience operations. Our team has supported our commerce division as we have maintained and continue the highest level of guest services as we continue to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as much construction disruption, as you heard of all the projects that are currently in development or are currently under construction throughout the tribe. Our biggest win to date this year is we rolled out our first tribal member survey that was deployed last October. We will have our second survey that will be coming out in FY24. We also implemented a health clinic outpatient survey to our 9 health clinics throughout the Choctaw Nation. When you visit one of our clinics, you probably receive a patient experience survey so our health team can improve on how our patient delivery of service is conducted. We also implemented a brand new software system across all of our divisions for ease of use. Under economic development, we have several departments, including our Choctaw Community Partnership Fund, our Community Development Fund, our Tourism Department, and Small Business, as well as our economic development activities. In 2019, we published, along with 15 other tribes, what the $15.6 billion economic impact was on the state of Oklahoma. Our tribal economic impact was $2.5 billion. We are going to be updating our numbers. We just completed with OCU our FY24, which will be released in the fall for our Choctaw Nation Economic Impact Report. Under business recruitment and expansion through economic development this current year, we participated in recruiting over 400 external jobs throughout the Choctaw Reservation. This included a distribution facility of industrial ventilation with 40 new jobs and $10 million in capital investment, a stone manufacturing expansion of 150 new jobs, and $28.5 million in capital investment. There were several retail operations that were recruited, with includes Whataburger, Scooters Coffee, and Seven Brew Coffee in Podo, and Taco Bell in Stigler. The combined capital retail investment topped $15 million. We assist our communities in preparing responses to requests for proposals of industries or companies wanting to do business in the Choctaw Reservation and in Oklahoma. We completed 34 RFPs, and we conducted 6 industry site visits in FY23. We assisted 8 communities by completing their assessments on their industrial properties, and 2 of our communities passed certified site assessment industrial locations in Hugo and Atoka. Our Choctaw Development Fund approved and deployed 60 small business forgivable loans of $5,000 to Choctawpreneurs that are in business across the reservation. We also participated in 9 community development projects that include water, road infrastructure, and upgrades, as well as studies and park and recreation enhancements. Our tourism department promotes our tourism attractions, including our beautiful Oklahoma parks, our Choctaw Casino Resorts, our cultural center, as well as our wonderful international event of the Choctaw Annual Powwow. And we do this across the country annually at over 40 tourism and travel shows. In FY23, our tourism spend across the Choctaw Reservation was $2.1 billion. This was a 13.7% increase over FY22. Our small business department continues with their growth. Our Choctawpreneurs across the reservation.
But your iCloud, you turned it all on, right? So everything's backed up on your iCloud, right?
You are on, if you're on at home, we can hear you. The reservation are starting growing their businesses with technical support and trainings. This year, we had 1,295 Choctawpreneurs in business within the reservation, and we grew to 1,489 Choctawpreneurs in business in the Choctaw Nation. We make up a large portion of main streets throughout the Choctaw Nation. We have supported 1,700 new jobs, assisted 326 businesses starting up, 193 of our Choctawpreneurs expanded their businesses, and we provided over 10,000 hours in business counseling and advising since inception. We will open our Durant Choctawpreneur Center in the fall of 24, and we will continue operation of our Idabel Choctawpreneur Center down in McCurtain County. We received many national awards through our economic development departments and our small business program from the IEDC, SEDC, and our small business is going to be receiving in October a Dream Big Oklahoma State Award. In closing, our total strategic division budget request is $29.3 million for FY24. This is a decrease of $2.6 million from $32 million request in FY23. Our decrease is primarily due to unfilled associate positions, and we did create several operational efficiencies through continuous improvement. And we reduced outside professional consulting services across our departments. The division is increasing our associate headcount by 5 associates to 156. This will include a labor analyst for reporting analytics to continue commerce, labor, and demand analysis. We will hire 2 operational excellence guest service managers that will help us continue deployment of our tribal member and health survey, and 2 economic development managers that will expand our reach into the northern and southern region as we continue to grow Choctaw Nation. Yako Key Tribal Council and 2 tribal members for your time speaking today. It's an honor to continue to serve our great Choctaw people. Any questions, Speaker?
Don't have any. Thank you.
Yako Key.
Assistant Chief is at that all?
That's all.
For the benefit of the audience, you heard the SEOs present their budget for this coming year. And for those that can remember, back in the 70s, Choctaw Nation wasn't near the Choctaw Nation that it is today. I feel like where we're at today comes from the Lord, and we as Choctaw people being strong, resilient, good decisions being made, and most of all, our Choctaw people that makes the Choctaw Nation is what it is today. So thank you, SCOs, and as you can tell, they have large duties, humongous duties. You heard the finance officer mention 300 accountants, auditors being audited. So the Choctaw Nation is a proud nation, it's a proud government, and I'm proud to say an honest government. And I think we all, the Choctaw people, should be very proud. Thank you, audience. Okay, move down to the election of officers, lead off with election of speaker. Any nominations for speaker?
Mr. Speaker, if I may, I make a motion by acclamation to retain all officers as it stands.
A second.
Second. Okay, motion is made that all officers stand. Vote.
Okay, Speaker Williston,
Yes.
Tony Ward,
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon,
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry,
Yes.
Jennifer Woods, yes, Joey Todd,
Yes.
Perry Thompson,
Yes.
James Dry,
Yes.
Anthony Dillard,
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier,
Yes.
Okay, by unanimous vote, Speaker, Secretary, and Chaplain of Tribal Council will remain. Appointment of parliamentarian, Sergeant at Arms and Recording Secretary. At this time, I reappoint our parliamentarian, Mr. J. Renly Dennis. Is he present?
Yes.
where is
Mr. Dennis, Sergeant at Arms, will be named at a later date. Recording Secretary of the Tribal Council. We have any applicants? I have to admit, our recording secretary has done a tremendous job for these past few years, and if it's not broke, let's not fix it. So Patty Hawkins, she will be our recording secretary for the tribal council. New business, Mr. Secretary.
Council Bill, Mr. Speaker. Council Bill A, it's a letter of reappointment for Jack Austin as Assistant Chief of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. I'm making a motion we vote on this appointment.
I second it.
Motion made and seconded. Questions, comment?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. If I may read a letter from Chief Gary Batten, Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. This letter is to request approval of reappointment of Mr. Jack Austin Jr. as the Assistant Chief of the Choctaw Nation. This request is in accordance to Article 6, Section 7 of the Constitution of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. That concludes my report, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councilman Tom. Further comment? Motion made, seconded. Vote.
Speaker Williston,
Yes.
Tony Ward,
Is he here? Yes.
Eddie Bohannon,
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry,
Yes.
Jennifer Woods, Joey Tom,
Yes.
Perry Thompson,
Yes.
James Dry,
Yes.
Anthony Dillard,
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Jack Austin Jr., the only applicant. Would you approach the podium, please?
Speaker. Speaker.
Do just one thing at a time. Hold your hand.
Then give him two.
Hold it. Place your right hand. Raise your left. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jack Austin,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the constitutions of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma,
of the Constitution of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma,
the state of Oklahoma,
the state of Oklahoma,
and the United States of America,
and the United States of America,
and I will discharge my duties
and I will discharge my duties
of my office with fidelity.
of my office with fidelity.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will devote my best efforts
that I will devote my best efforts
toward the preservation of the heritage
to the preservation of the heritage
and tradition of the Choctaw Nation,
and the traditions of the Choctaw Nation,
in order that all mankind
in order that all mankind
may better understand,
may better understand,
evaluate, and appreciate
evaluate, and appreciate
the history of its glorious past,
the history of its glorious past,
and enjoy its brilliant future.
and enjoy its brilliant future.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Mr. Speaker, Council Bill B, the letter of reappointment for Michael Burridge as General Counsel of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. Mr. Speaker, I make a motion we vote on this appointment.
Second.
Motion made, second. This question, comment.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, this is from Chief Gary Batten as well. This is to request your approval of my reappointment of Mr. Michael Burridge as the General Counsel of the Choctaw Nation. This request is in accordance with Article 9, Section 12 of the Constitution of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. That concludes the letter.
Thank you, Councilman Dry. Further comments? Motion made and seconded. Question. Vote.
Speaker Williston,
Yes.
Tony Ward,
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon,
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry,
Yes.
Jennifer Woods, Joey Tom,
Yes.
Perry Thompson,
Yes.
James Dry,
Yes.
Anthony Dillard,
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
All right. Mr. Burridge, would you approach the podium, please? Place your hand on the Bible. Yes, sir. I state your name.
I, Michael Burridge,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the constitutions of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma,
the Constitution of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma,
the state of Oklahoma,
the state of Oklahoma,
and the United States of America,
and the United States of America,
and will discharge the duties
and will discharge the duties
of my office with fidelity. I further swear that I will devote my best efforts toward the preservation
towards the preservation
of the heritage and tradition
of the heritage and tradition
of the Choctaw Nation, in order that all mankind may better understand, evaluate, and appreciate the history of its glorious past, and enjoy its brilliant future. So help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you.
His hand went. Okay, Mr. Secretary.
House Bill C, approve application to Bureau of Indian Affairs for funding for preliminary engineering for bridge replacement. Mr. Speaker, I make a motion to vote on this council bill.
Second.
Motion made second. Questions, comments?
Yes, Mr. Speaker. The purpose and need of this council bill is to approve application to the Bureau of Indian Affairs Bridge Formula Program for funds to perform preliminary engineering assessments for replacement of 11 bridges on the Choctaw Nation Reservation. If awarded funding, the nation will be required to provide a 20% match of awarded funds, which will come from the nation's existing tribal transportation funds. This legislation will accomplish the nation's strategic goal of supporting service delivery and increasing member quality of life by providing safe travel across the Choctaw Nation Reservation. That's all I have, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councilman Ward. Further comments? Vote.
Speaker Williston,
Yes.
Tony Ward,
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon,
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry,
Yes.
Jennifer Woods, Joey Tom,
Yes.
Perry Thompson,
Yes.
James Dry,
Yes.
Anthony Dillard,
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
House Bill D, approve application for Head Start one-time funds. Mr. Speaker, I make a motion to vote on this council bill.
Second.
Motion made second. Questions, comments?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I would like to read the purpose of this council bill. This council bill will allow the Choctaw Nation Head Start program to apply for federal funding that will be used to assist the program in acquiring 3 new microbird G5 buses with safety-related expenditures related to the removal of peak of the Hugo Head Start and replacement of pour-and-play surface area, and the installation of a shade structure awning at the Bennington Head Start. This council bill will allow the nation to achieve its strategic goal to support service delivery to improve tribal members' quality of life by providing education and services to tribal members, children, and families that help to improve tribal members' self-sufficiency and independence.
Thank you, Councilperson Woods. Further comments? Vote.
Speaker Williston,
Yes.
Tony Ward,
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon,
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry,
Yes.
Jennifer Woods, Joey Tom,
Yes.
Perry Thompson,
Yes.
James Dry,
Yes.
Anthony Dillard,
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
Council Bill E, approve to dispose of surplus capital assets dash equipment. Mr. Speaker, I make a motion to vote on this council bill.
Speaker, I'll make that motion.
Motion made seconded. Questions, comments?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, the Choctaw Nation has capital assets that are broken, obsolete, have exceeded their useful life, or simply no longer have a use to the nation. This bill, with an original cost of $516,570.24, a net book value of $77,854.71, and a fair market value of $85,564.21, including all listed inventory as attached in Exhibit A. That's the purpose of the bill, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councilman Frazier. Further comments?
Vote.
Speaker Williston,
Yes.
Tony Ward,
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon.
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry,
Yes.
Jennifer Woods. Yes. Joey Tom,
Yes.
Perry Thompson.
Yes.
James Dry.
Yes.
Anthony Dillard,
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
Council Bill F, approved to dispose of surplus capital assets dash vehicles. Mr. Speaker, I make a motion to vote on this council bill.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to second that motion.
Motion made, seconded. Questions, comments?
Mr. Speaker, if you would, the purpose and need of this council bill, the Choctaw Nation has capital assets such as furniture, fixtures, and equipment, or vehicles that are broken, obsolete, or have exceeded their useful life, or simply no longer used to the nation. This bill asks for approval to dispose of furniture, fixtures, and equipment, or vehicles with an original cost of $514,300.98, a net book value of 1 cent, and a fair market value of $139,268.50, including all listed inventories as attached in Exhibit A. This council bill furthers the nation's strategic goal of strengthening financial growth and economic stability by safeguarding of assets through providing operational efficiencies. Assets that are disposed of with this bill will reduce repair and maintenance costs while also providing funds back to the internal services, leasing, and/or general fund. I'd also like to add a side note that the next vehicle auction, which I believe are 54 of them, is set for September the 23rd at 10 o'clock at Durant. And also the viewing day would be Friday, September the 2nd, the day before the auction. That's all I have at this time, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councilman Henry. Further comments? Vote.
Speaker Williston,
Yes.
Tony Ward,
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon.
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry.
Yes.
Jennifer Woods. Yes. Joey Tom,
Yes.
Perry Thompson,
Yes.
James Dry.
Yes.
Anthony Dillard.
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
Council Bill G, approve the FY 2024 annual travel budget of the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma. Mr. Speaker, I make a motion to vote on this council bill.
I'll second. Motion made, seconded. Question, comment? Mr. Speaker, the annual travel budget, which consists of revenue being $528,871,551. Operating expenses equaling $1,584,664,412. Maintenance capital expenditures $36,523,599. Cost of goods sold being $495,025,402, with net revenue from operations of $412,658,138. That's the FY 24 annual budget request. Thank you, Councilman Dillard.
I'd like to add, Assistant Chief, I'd like to thank all the staff for all the hard work and diligence and meeting with all of us, the council, the last couple of months. You know, this wasn't just a overnight budget, and I know there's a lot of hard work, but also like to thank all those associates that work, to drive the revenue, especially in the commerce at the travel plazas or the casinos or the ranches or whatever. I know they work a lot of long hours. It's very much appreciated. And to all of our other staff that services our tribal members with the revenue we're able to drive, and to make sure that we do take care of our tribal members and sustain our tribe for future generations. So I'd just like to thank you for that.
Thank you, Councilman Tribe. Very well said. I might add too that it has been said by state officials that the Choctaw Nation, as well as the other Fort Lauderdale tribes, we are a big economic engine in Oklahoma, and within itself, that's something for our nation to be proud of. So, thank you, Councilman Dry. Any further comments? Vote.
Speaker Williston,
Yes.
Tony Ward.
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon.
Yes.
Jess Henry.
Yes.
Ron Perry.
Yes.
Jennifer Woods. Yes. Joey Tom.
Yes.
Perry Thompson.
Yes.
James Dry.
Yes.
Anthony Dillard.
Yes.
Robert Carr.
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
Council Bill H, amend the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma Fish, Game, and Animals Code. Mr. Speaker, I make a motion to vote on this council bill.
I'll second.
Motion made second. Questions, comments?
Mr. Speaker, the purpose of this bill is to amend the Choctaw Nation Fish, Game, and Animals Code. The council has authority under the Constitution to enact legislation, rules, and regulations, and to manage tribal property, and the chief has the authority to faithfully execute the laws. The Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma Fish, Game, and Animals Code recognizes and regulates all wildlife found within the nation. This code regulates the nation's land and resources and defines, claims, and exercises the nation and the nation's members' rights to hunt, fish, and gather on lands that are within the jurisdiction of the nation. This amendment furthers the nation's strategic goal of supporting service delivery and increasing member quality of life by promoting wildlife conservation, as well as promoting and exercising sovereignty within the nation's sovereign territory by regulating its land and resources. This is an ongoing effort, and as circumstances change in the field, the nation will assess and changes will be reflected in this code. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Councilman Bohannon. Further comments? Vote.
Speaker Williston,
Yes.
Tony Ward,
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon,
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry,
Yes.
Jennifer Woods, Joey Tom,
Yes.
Perry Thompson,
Yes.
James Dry,
Yes.
Anthony Dillard,
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
That's all the council bill, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. For the crowd, we have reviewed all these council bills prior to, as one of the councilman Dillard mentioned, the last 2 months, we have been discussing our budget, and I believe every year it's historic, based on the growth of our nation and the diligence of our Commerce Division. And I'd like to take a moment to myself thank all the SEOs, assistant chief, and chief for all that they do for all our people and to generate dollars so we can continue to serve our people. So thank you very much. Other new business. If we don't mind, at the election process we just went past, I didn't have it written in here, but we have a position for a pro tem.
Oh, we
Okay.
do need that, yes.
Okay, there's other new business we'll open forward for nomination of pro tem, speaker pro tem.
Nominate Tony Ward.
I second that.
Any further nomination? Okay, Tony Ward will be named the speaker pro tem. Due to no further nominations. Okay. Second, leave of the new business is not on the official side, but we noticed Tony Ward is from Broken Bow. He's wearing a Durant hat. Explain.
The
hat, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I wasn't on the winning side of a bet. But if any 5A team can beat a 4A team by 1 point, I'd be glad to wear their hat. Broken Bow didn't beat Durant. The score was 20-19.
I appreciate Tony for honoring his bet, and Tucker, my son, sent that hat with me this morning for Tony to keep.
Autograph edition.
Yes, he autographed it on the inside. Absolutely.
Old business, any old business?
Hey, under new business, I'd like to mention our tribal live horseman that passed away last week. Rance Warren, he's from McAllister, really good young man. His funeral was Monday at the McAllister Expo at 10 o'clock in the morning, and burial at Galvin, and then family dinner at Wilburton after that.
What time do you say?
10 o'clock Monday morning.
Definitely our condolences go out to us.
Yeah.
Go out to the family.
Also, Mr. Speaker, it's looking across the Roberts family, it's an honor that you're here today. I'm glad Mr. Frazier honored you, Mr. Roberts, and driving down the highway, sometimes seeing all those billboards makes me I'm always a proud Choctaw, but to see you on those billboards and those commercials, and Michael, what you do for the tribe too, just appreciate you and your family very much.
Thank you. Any old business? I hear a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made, seconded, Councilman Dillard. So,
Speaker Williston,
yes.
Tony Ward,
Yes.
Eddie Bohannon,
Yes.
Jess Henry,
Yes.
Ron Perry,
Yes.
Jennifer Wood,
Yes.
Joey Tom,
Yes, ma'am.
Harry Thompson,
Yes.
James Dry,
Yes.
Anthony Dillard,
Yes.
Robert Carr,
Yes.
James Frazier.
Yes.
All right. Thank you everyone for coming today, and by all means, join us next month on the second Saturday. Chaplain.
Our Father, we thank you for this time. We thank you for all the businesses, Lord, all the reports, Father, and all the ways, Father, that we serve our people. And we thank you. We ask for your continued guidance throughout this new year as we start, Lord. And we just ask that you give traveling grace to those that are traveling home or traveling on the road somewhere, Lord. But we know, Father, how important it is that all of these things that we heard today, every day, all the work that the people sacrifice and time away from their families, Lord, and the commitment to our great Choctaw Nation so that we can have these services for our people. And Lord, we just ask for your continued blessings throughout this year and throughout this day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I'll get a picture. I'll get a picture. Hey.